When you're setting up your business, probably one of the most important things that you'll have to do is to configure your products. And if you're trying to use Odoo, configuring your products in Odoo is critical so that your customers know what they're trying to buy and that your staff know what they're trying to sell. Let's have a look together at the different options that are available with products so that you can configure it exactly how you need to. I'm El Bristow. Welcome to Everything in Odoo. There are a lot of different options when you're configuring your products in Odoo, and it's very important that you get those options right because you want Odoo to handle your products in the right way. Depending on the type of product and how it's being used, you want to make sure that Odoo knows where it's got to go, how much it's worth, etc., etc. In this video, we're not going to look at the basic configuration options of products. I'm sure you can work out how to change the name or the description of your product, etc. What we are going to have a look at is some of the more advanced options, things like product attributes, things like optional and accessory products and what's the difference between them. And we're going to have a look at the different types of products between goods and services and combo products which were added in version 18. Let's have a look together and see how we configure different products in Odoo to do exactly what you need them to do. But before we do that, please take a moment to hit the like button and the subscribe button in YouTube so that you get notifications when we release new videos. We've got a lot of different videos planned. We want to really get down into the nitty-gritty details of Odoo so that you can really make Odoo do exactly what you need it to do. The like and the subscribe just helps YouTube to promote our videos a little bit so that we can get a bit more traffic and a bit more feedback so that we know exactly what people want to see in these videos. We really want to help people to do everything in Odoo. So just take a moment to help us out. Thanks very much. Okay, so let's have a look at the Odoo demo site. This is the one available on demo.odoo.com with the default options configured. We're going to have a look at sales and we're going to have a look in products. And obviously this is where we list all of the different products that are configured in the system. We're going to create a new product. Let's create, I don't know, a widget. Typical for these kind of videos. Immediately we have product type, goods, services, or a combo. Goods are physical things that you would actually have in a warehouse, something that you would send to a customer, something physical. Services are the opposite of that, something that is not physical, it's a service that you provide. Fairly self-explanatory. A combo is a combination of different products, and you might have options that you pick on each of those products. The best comparison is like a meal deal that you would get at a fast food restaurant. You would have a choice of burger, a choice of fries, a choice of drink, for example. And when you choose the menu, the meal deal, you get asked which burger do you want, which chips do you want, what drink do you want. And then when you confirm it, it combines them all into one product so that appears easily on the sales order. But as far as providing the product is concerned, it gives the order to provide a burger, a portion of fries, a drink, and they get put together. That's what a combo does in Odoo. But of course, it applies to more than just food. It applies to any kind of products that you want to combine together. This is slightly different from a kit product, which actually we're not going to cover in this video, but a kit product is a combination of products that you just put together and put in a box effectively and ship together. But you don't have quite the flexibility of the options that you would with a combo product. On the sales tab of a product, we can see there are a few different fields that we're going to look into. We have packagings, for example. That is, how do we sell this product? We sell it in units, but we might also sell it in a pack of 6, for example. And the customer would be able to choose, do they want 1? Do they want a pack of 6? Editor L here, let me just interrupt for a moment. I realized that I didn't go back and address what that pack of 6 is actually used for. The customer doesn't actually see that on the website. They don't get to choose whether they're buying 1 or a pack of 6 in this instance. When you configure it this way, you have to handle that slightly differently. What this does do is if your staff are creating a sales order in the back end, it gives them the choice of units of measure, whether that be unit, pack of 6, pack of 12, or however. So this is for use by your staff in the back end rather than for your customer to choose via the website. Apologies, I forgot to include that description and I didn't put it later in the video. So back to the video. Optional products. These are things that can be added to the product. If we look at the tooltip, this shows on the add to cart section. So when they're adding it to their cart, Odoo offers, do you want this as well? So this is useful for things like warranties or something along those lines that is additional to the product, a supplementary product that is specific to what's being added to the cart. So for example, if we have a look at a warranty, there we go. We can add that as an optional product. Accessory products are slightly different. These are shown in the basket when the person reviews their cart, and this would be things like, you've bought this, so maybe you also want to buy this. For example, you've bought a widget, maybe you would also like to buy a widget holder, something to put it in. Maybe you would like something else that supplements this product. We would have to create another product for that. I haven't created a widget holder, but let's pick something, I don't know, a stool. There you go. It could be an accessory product for our widget. I don't know what a widget is that would have a stool as an accessory, but we'll find that out. Alternative products are other products that the customer might want instead of this one that they're looking at. So these appear on the actual product page on Odoo, on the website. And what this will be is you're looking at this product. Maybe what you're actually looking for is one of these or one of these or one of these. So again, we don't have products pre-configured in here, but maybe they want an apple pie instead of a widget. So this is cross-selling. You might want this, but do you actually want this instead? We're going to have a look on the website a little bit later to see exactly what all of these options look like. The other options that we can add are attributes. So this widget that they're purchasing comes in blue, dark blue. There we go. It has legs that are made of aluminium, and the size is small. There we go. They are attributes. Now, you can have one attribute in each of those categories, or you can have multiple attributes in each of those categories that become selectable options. For the moment, we're only going to configure one, and we'll see how that appears on the website. And then later, we'll come back and have a look at how adding extra attributes there affects what Odoo is actually doing. We're also going to have a look at how you create a new attribute so that it handles things slightly differently. So here we are on our website on the shop page, and our customer is looking for a widget. We can search for a widget, and here we go. It pops up. Immediately we can see those attributes that we specified. It's dark blue, it's aluminium, it's small. They can actually be used for comparisons, comparing products with each other. They can be used for filtering on the products page. In fact, if we go back to all products, we see here we can select dark blue, and it will show us all the products that are available in dark blue. I didn't hit publish on this product, but it has shown us the right product because we're logged in as an administrator. Then we can see on the product page, we have the alternative products that we selected. This is the apple pie that we selected as a possible alternative product. So that's Odoo doing its job fine. When we add this to the cart, we get the pop-up that offers us the warranty, the 1-year warranty, or it could be a 2-year warranty, depending on what they want. This is a service product. It's not something that we physically ship to the customer. The widget is a physical product. So we can add this along with the widget, and then we either continue shopping or we proceed to the checkout. Let's proceed to the checkout for the moment. And now we can see this is what our cart looks like. And you can see we have suggested accessories. These are the accessory products. Do you also want a stool, a widget holder, or whatever to go with your product? Yeah, I do. Let's add it to the cart. And there we go. Easy. So those options allow us a lot of flexibility on our upselling and on our cross-selling. If we jump over to the sales app and we take out my quotations, we should see this. It's a quotation. They haven't confirmed their basket yet, but we can see this is a basket that a customer is putting together. It's still in the quotation phase. But if we have a look at it, we can see all of the details of what they've added. We have a widget with the option of a 1-year warranty, so that we know that this 1-year warranty relates to this widget. And they've added the stool. It gives us the description of each of those products so that we know that we're shipping the right thing to the right customer. And the same options are available if we were to try and modify this sales order ourselves in the back end. So if we try to add a product and we search for widget, we go to widget, and it gives us exactly the same pop-up options. It gives us the warranty. These are the optional products that we had, and we can say we want to add that and confirm. It doesn't do the accessory products or the alternative products because they are upselling, cross-selling options that are available via the website. Hopefully our staff would know that they are optional add-ons or cross-selling opportunities if they were, for example, doing this order over the phone. But the idea of those options is purely to do with the website and how those products are promoted to the customer. So there we go. We've put together a sales order, or rather our customer has put together a sales order for us using the various different options that are available. But we mentioned about the attributes and how changing those attributes might affect how Odoo handles that product. Let's have a look at how attributes can affect the product. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper now into the products. Let's say that our widget is a physical item that we keep in the warehouse. We have this option for track inventory so that we can keep a track of how the product moves through our warehouse. If we don't tick that tick box, Odoo treats this as a consumable product, assuming that we're not interested in the stock level of that product. So for example, if we have a great big bucket of screws in the warehouse, we don't want to go through and count every single screw when we do a stock take so that we know exactly how many screws we've got available at any given time. That would be a consumable product. We don't track the inventory of a bucket of screws. When the bucket gets nearly empty, we order a load more screws. That's just logic. However, with a widget, for example, we might only stock 3 or 4 of them, in which case it's important we know how many are in stock at any given time so that we know when we need to order or make some more. So we click track inventory. There's a few different options for how it tracks the inventory. These options are by quantity, which is the default. So it tracks how many of this product we have in stock at any given time, simply with a quantity. It doesn't matter whether it's this one or that one. They're all widgets. They're all the same. However, we might want to do it by lots. So for example, wallpaper. When you buy wallpaper, you have a batch number on the wallpaper and you want to make sure you get all the ones from the same batch so that they're all exactly the same color. You might have a product similar to that where the batch is important, the lot is important. It might also be important for expiry dates. If you're selling something that expires, you want to make sure that you're selling the lot that came into the warehouse sooner, because those are going to expire sooner. So we can track it by lot. Alternatively, we can track it by unique serial number. Every single item is unique for whatever reason. It could be laptops, electronic devices, they all have their own serial number, and you need to track the serial number for warranty claims or something like that. So we have the option to track by unique serial number. The lots and the unique serial number still allow us to have a quantity on hand, so it still tracks the quantity, obviously, but it allows us to track the individual items slightly differently. We can also do valuation by lot and serial number. That's part of probably an accounting video that we'll have to do later to do with stock valuations and things like that. For the moment, we're going to leave this product on, tracking it by quantity so that we can track how many we've got in the warehouse. There we go. On the attributes and variants tab, we said earlier that you can add more attributes here to give our customers some options. So let's say that our widget is available in a selection of different colors. It might be available also in green and gray, for example. The legs, it might come with steel legs as well, and it might be available in multiple different sizes. So we can select all of those things on this product. You'll notice here it gives us the product configurator or the order grid entry now as an option. Product configurator is a pop-up that comes up and gives you all the options, and you have to select which options you want. Grid entry is a slightly more technical approach where it gives you all of one option along the top, all of another option down the bottom, and you fill it in a bit like a spreadsheet to say what quantity of what combination you want. It's a little bit technical. So generally I find customers prefer to use the product configurator than the grid entry. But the grid entry is an option if you choose to use it. Now, now that we've added these attributes, when we save this product, you'll notice that Odoo has created variants. It's created 18 of them. What that is all of the different possible combinations of these attributes. It has created all of those possible options at once. Important point to note, Odoo does have a limit on how many variants it can create in one batch, and that is 1,000. If Odoo tries to create more than 1,000 variants at once, it throws an error message. That doesn't mean you can't have more than 1,000 variants. It means that you can't create more than 1,000 variants in any given transaction. So if I was to add lots and lots of different options in here and lots of different options in here, it tries to create all of those combinations, and it might try and make more than 1,000 at once. It doesn't like that. It can't do it. So if you add one option, it will create those variants. Then you add another option, it will create those variants, and usually it can manage a little bit better. If we have a quick look at those variants, you'll see it has, this is a widget. This is the dark blue aluminium size small, green aluminium size small, grey aluminium size small. It's created all of the possible options. And what we can do is we can set SKUs and internal references, barcode numbers for every possible variant of this product if we choose to do so. How does that affect what they see on the website? Let's go and have a look. So now on the website, where it previously just listed the attributes that were available and used them for comparison purposes, now we actually have options. So we have a green, aluminium, medium, for example, and we can configure different images for every different combination. We can configure different prices for every single combination. Odoo gives us that flexibility if we want to use it. But what's important is it gives the customer all the options they could possibly want to configure the product that they are trying to purchase. And when they add it to the cart, it gives us the same options as it did before. Let's proceed to the checkout. It's added it to the cart. And now we can see it's given us dark blue, aluminium, small. Interestingly, the ones that were already in the sorry, not dark, it's given us grey, aluminium, medium. The ones that were already in the basket is dark blue, aluminium, small. That was the original options that we had. They were the only options that we had at the time. So that's the ones that it's used for those variants. The customer can remove them and put them back if they have added them to the basket before we've added the options for some reason, but hopefully our products are already configured so this situation won't come up. But there we go. It gives our customers the flexibility they need to configure their products. But what if an option isn't available? What if there is a particular combination that we can't provide? Odoo lets us do that too. Let's go back to the product and have a look. So here we are back on the product page, and now we're going to have a look at something that is quite complex but actually works really well. Let's say, for example, if they want the dark blue widget, it's only available with steel legs. So we can configure steel and aluminium. We can go to aluminium and we can say exclude for. What this means is this option is not available if these rules apply. So we can add a line. We're going to look at our widget. That's our product template that we're working with. And it's not available if they choose dark blue. There we go. Let's hit save. We go back to our website preview and we'll see the customer cannot pick aluminium. They can't add it to their basket because this combination does not exist. But if they pick green, aluminium is available. Fantastic way to allow us to restrict the options that our customer has available to them. Okay, So now let's get into some real technical stuff. This is real details of how attributes actually work and how we can configure attributes to work slightly differently to this default setting. Let's say, for example, we want a customer to be able to specify a text field. Maybe our product can be embroidered or printed with a particular word on it that the customer provides. Odoo will let us do that. There is also the possibility that we don't want to create variants for all of the possible combinations that are available for a product. Odoo will let us do that too. To set up a new attribute, we're going to need to use the inventory module, not the sales module. In the inventory module, we have a configuration section for attributes, quite aptly named. You can see in here all of the attributes that we're currently using on any of our products in the system: color, size, legs, everything that we've looked at before. If we have a quick look at the color one, we can see all of the different colors that are available, a few different options that are available. We can even set images for each of the options that can be used later on by the product. But what we want to have a look at is the various different options that are available up the top here and how they affect what the customer sees on the other end. To do that, we're going to create a new attribute and we're going to call it embroidery. So let's hit new and we're going to call it embroidery. Now, embroidery is something that is going to vary from product to product. We don't necessarily want to keep a variant for each kind of embroidery that's in the system. We want the customer to be able to specify what gets embroidered on their product. So we can have here the variant creation option. These options are instantly, dynamically, or never. Instantly means as soon as we add this attribute or any value from this attribute to a product, it will go away and create the variants straight away. Now, that can be tricky with that 1000 limit, as we said. If you're creating a very complex product with a lot of different options and you try and create them all at once, Odoo's going to try and create over 1,000 variants, and it's going to have problems. What we can do in that instance is we can select dynamically, which means only create this variant when a customer selects it on the website or when we try and add it to a sales order. The options are all there and available, but it doesn't create the variant in the database until we need it, which means it's only ever creating one at a time. We can have tens of thousands of possible combinations of options, but we're only creating one variant at a time. This is useful if you've got products that you only stock once the customer decides that they want it. For example, they order it and then we go and make it, order it, or whatever to send on to the customer. We don't need to store all the possible options in our database until we actually need to use them. That's dynamic attributes. Never means it doesn't create any variants. All it does is it adds a note to the sales order to say which option the customer picked. And in the case of something like embroidery, that's the kind of option that we want. We don't need a different variant for every possible option that the customer might select, because all that is an instruction to whoever's doing the embroidery what they need to do. So in the instance of embroidery, we're going to add a line to this. We're going to call this embroidery because it doesn't really matter what we're going to put here, and we're going to call it free text. This is a free text field that the customer will specify what the embroidery is going to be. Having it set to variant creation never means it's not going to create a variant for embroidery because it doesn't need to. It's not important. Incidentally, while we're on this page, the display type is how does it display these to the customer. Radio buttons, which is what these look like. Pills, which is like small rounded buttons that they can press. Select is a drop-down box of selection options. Color is like a color picker, where it shows them the color rather than the name of the color, so they can pick it. And then a multi-check box is where they can select multiple options. However, with multi-check box, you can only have variant creation never, because otherwise it would create so many options really, really quickly. A multi-check box, you can just tick 3 or 4 items and it adds it to the description on the sales order. For the moment, we're going to stick with the radio button. If you want to, head over to the demo site and play around with those and you can see how they display to the customer on the website. So we've created our embroidery attribute. let's go and add it to our widget. So let's go back over to products. We'll go to our widget, go to the attributes and variants. We add a line to the attributes and we look for our embroidery. There we go. There is only one option. It has added that. If we save this, the number of variants doesn't change for this product. It doesn't need to, because we told it never to make those variants. If we now go over to our website again, embroidery is now an option on the website. So someone can pick a grey, aluminium, large widget, and on the embroidery, they can say, glow is great. Add it to the cart. Gives them the same options as before. We won't have the warranty on this one. Let's proceed to the checkout, and we can see it shows in the basket they've picked embroidery, glow is great. Now, if we have a look at the sales order, get rid of my quotations, we'll have a look at this sales order here. We can see that we have a description on the line of the sales order to say what they have chosen for their embroidery. They have customized their product. It hasn't created extra variants because we don't need to. What we do know is when we go to send this out to the customer, we need to make sure that it's embroidered with glow is great. A simple example of how to use attributes and custom attributes that don't create a variant. So that is an introduction to product configuration in Odoo. If we went into all the possible fields and options that you could choose in Odoo, this video would be days long. There is a lot of flexibility in Odoo. You can set a lot of things up however you want them to work. If you do have a specific question about how to configure your particular product, you can add a comment down below on this video, or head over to glow.systems and you can send us a message with your question and we'll be happy to assist you. If you've seen enough and you want to implement Odoo in your business, give us a call, get in touch, send us an email, whatever, and we can put together a proposal for how we would be able to implement Odoo for your particular business and what that would look like for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please join us next time where we help you to see how you can do everything in Odoo.